How's it going, everyone? Data here, and welcome back to the San Jose Sharks franchise mode, episode number 12, headed into year number 4, the 2025-26 regular season. Speaking of seasons, I hope that you've all been having a wonderful holiday season and had a marvelous Christmas just a few days ago. This is recorded on Boxing Day the 26th, being uploaded sometime before the new year, as, of course, a lot of things going on, family stuff, holiday stuff. Not a ton of time to record. This will be the final episode of our franchise mode series in 2022 before the 2023 calendar year. I'm not sure if it'll be the last upload, maybe some hockey card content, but it will be our last episode of franchise mode before 2023. So I hope that you will enjoy it. I've been looking forward to this one. Not much to touch, and I'm ready to just get simulating, but we will dive into the comments. First things first, a little off-season recap. It wasn't a huge draft, but I liked what we did in the off-season. Some structural reinforcements. Connor Bedard at the age of 20. We signed him to a big extension. He's on the last year of his ELC, but after this season, he will be signed for, I think it was 5 or 6 seasons, at 7.75. Obviously an underpayment of what he'll be worth come 3-4 years from now, but when that contract's up and he's an RFA, we'll be able to sign him for whatever, 10, 11, 12, 13 million, as opposed to losing him to unrestricted free agency when he wants like 18 million for some glitched reason, for example. The other big move was trading for the rights and then subsequently signing Pavel Buchnevich to a 4-year contract at 8.15 million per season. He's a playmaker, 92 passing, 4.5-star shooting. Looking forward to seeing what he does with a +3 with Bedard and Eklund on that first line. Second line, Jonathan Drouin, 87, 87 overall. I don't know how, he was an 84, he had a 58-point season, and now he's an 87. Sounds great to me. With Tomas Hertl and Chaz Lucius, who he himself is now an 83 overall at the age of 22. Really like to see that growth. Last season in his rookie season, his second full season with the organization, but his first in the NHL, 40 points in 79 games, only playing just about 11 minutes of ice time per night. So put him on that second line, could be big. Third line, Logan Couture, our captain at the age of 36 in a reduced role. Cody Glass, 84 overall, third line center, and Oscar Lindblom, 83. Fourth line, Cunnin, Reedy, and Larry Tongue making his NHL debut at the age of 19. I don't know if he'll stick. He's the 27th overall pick in 2024, the Swiss international. He'll play fourth line. Now, I also want to say before I go to the defense, every offseason or moving into the regular season, we're allowed to add or remove up to 3 X factors and up to 3 players. I went ahead and added a send it superstar ability to William Eklund. He is an amazing playmaker, so I thought it would make sense to give him a third X factor or superstar ability. He only had 2, so I gave him a third. On defense, we have Mats Rodin making his NHL debut, the 6th overall pick in 2024. He is now 83 overall at the age of 19. He will play top pair with Erik Karlsson, who he himself is 35 years of age, but also only 83. Now, Erik Karlsson just consistently putting up like 40, 50 assists per season, playing huge minutes. In the postseason, 17 assists in 23 games. I decided to make his tape-to-tape superstar ability into a zone ability, and I also added third eye, because really he should be in the high 80 overalls, but he's still an 83 for some reason, keeps dropping. So he'll be top pair with Rodin. Second pair, Esa Lindell, who we ended up keeping. He was a deadline pickup. We now signed him to a 3-year deal at 4.85 per season. He'll play second pair with Evan Bouchard. And third pair at the moment is Mario Ferraro playing with Owen Pickering, also making his NHL debut. So we have a good amount of rookies and young players here in this lineup. And between the pipes, our starting goaltender is still Ilya Samsonov, but backing him up is 85 overall Linus Ullmark. As last season with the 78s, it wasn't really going super well, so we wanted to get a bit more support in the backup role, someone who could start games if called upon. Going into the season, 7th D is Kniazev, 8th D is Mark-Edward Vlasic, and 13th forward is Noah Gregor. So that's pretty much it. The recap is what I wanted to tell you. We will dive into the comments, of course, as always, but we're pretty much set to simulate. The first comment that I want to look at comes from Golden Gamer, who in his comment, I'm just going to go down to the part about the trade recommendations. In terms of players, we could look at Alex Wenberg from the Kraken. He's a guy who I could see fitting into the 3rd or 4th line role, maybe in exchange for Oscar Lindblom. Not a big name, but a good depth guy who I believe simulates decently. But then we got some big suggestions, either Nazem Kadri or Matt Duchene. Now, I know you said you wanted to try to win with Logan Couture, but guys like Kadri and Duchene are hard to pass up, so So I would trade maybe, Logan Couture and some picks to get one of them, thus making Karlsson the captain. Then Bedard or Eklund become alternates. They're the future captains, blah, 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 maybe at the deadline. Let's go Sharks. Looking forward to another great season in the Shark Tank. Thank you very much, Golden Gamer. I could see that happening. It really comes down to what Duchesne and Kadri's team situation is when we'd be looking to make that trade, and how Logan Couture now does in a third line role. He's been simulating quite well as first, second line minutes, 62, 63 points the last couple seasons, while averaging over 18 minutes of ice time per night. Now we'll give him special team plus third line as an 83 overall with bottom 6 potential. We'll see how that affects him moving forward. Aiden leaving a comment, if Lucius doesn't work on line 2, I wouldn't mind bringing in someone like Phil Kessel for the second line. Sort of like how we did with Blake Wheeler last season, but obviously doesn't quite have the size. This is a suggestion for closer to the deadline, of course, and looking forward to the season opener. Thank you, Aiden. So we had great success with Blake Wheeler joining the team last season. If we need to bring in a veteran to bolster whatever position we're lacking in, maybe that's Lucius, maybe that's the top 6, I wouldn't mind doing that at all. For the last YouTube comment, we'll go over to Cheating Heel, who says, wait, so we're paying Bedard less than Eklund? What a steal. Bedard is about 2.5 years younger than Eklund, not as proven despite having a great sophomore season. We know he'll be amazing. We know he'll cost a lot. At this moment, we're paying him a bit less to say, hey, do us a favor, get to RFA status by the end of your deal, and then we'll give you a huge payday. So, unfortunately, it's a bit of a stretch of realism due to how the AI is broken in contract negotiations. Oftentimes, you can't have a conversation with them. I don't want to risk giving him accurate money today, and then he wants 19 million in 2031. So that's why we had to kind of do that. But really love the offseason. Thank you, Cheating Heel. Draft wasn't much to get excited for, but I feel like we moved out the players we had to let go of. I hope Buchnevich clicks with our 2 young studs. Allmark is a solid pickup to shoulder the load in goal. My only concern might be the lack of solid depth. I say we give Tanguy a 9-game tryout, plus the preseason. If he shows he's not ready, we should look at trading for an 82-ish winger, maybe even Noah Gregor, to either take his spot while Tanguy develops in the AHL, or a winger that adds chemistry on the third line and drop Lindblom to the 4th. I don't want to drop Lindblom, but of course we'll go with the flow and see what's necessary. Other than that, I'm quite satisfied with the job done by our great GM. Here come the flowers, of course. Thank you, thank you. Also, hope the new head coach, forgot to mention that, we have our new head coach. We hope that he helps us to grow the production of some of our top players, not named Bedard or Karlsson. We need a couple more players in the 75 or 80 point range, and we have the talent on hand to be able to do that. This is our year. Whoever wants to get in our way will get crushed. Let's show no mercy. Go Sharks! Thank you, Cheating Heel. So that's another thing we have to kind of suspend realism for, the head coaching. Our head coach got us to a Stanley Cup final last season, but now we move him to the associate coach role because his attributes aren't as great for, hold on, let's go. Our new head coach, A+, 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 and the teaching and influence A+ and B. Meanwhile, Harrison Avery had the A for the defense, B- for the teaching, better on the special teams. It was a bit of a wash, but this guy was rated a bit higher, plus had a solid team fit, so I thought it made sense to go for Jerry Piper, who also is a generalist and not forwards in terms of his teaching specialty. So we'll go with that. It's nothing against Avery, just that in another broken system, unfortunately, we're trying to maximize the most we can out of it. Plus, that coach won in a landslide in the Discord server debate, so that's why it made a lot of sense for us. Speaking of that coaching debate, I'm Sean Avery. Coach Avery's cousin was a little scared with the coaching change over in the Discord server. Being as you stated, not much realistic, but hey, you didn't fire my Uncle Harrison, there you go. Not cousin, sorry, his nephew. He was a good friend with Jerry back in the OHL, our new head coach, so he was willing to step down to have him on board. We all know that he's getting the same payday as an associate, so he can't really care. It only brings more to the table to help the youth. They're very well said. I like how you put that one, Avery. For the goalies in free agency, I would have gone with Vejmelka. You know, the one who's producing the same amount of points as Darcy Kemper with the Avalanche in his fantasy hockey team. But, you know, Linus is a great choice also. Just would have been nice to see new faces, and I fully agree with that. Honestly, it just came down to the money because I wasn't sure how it was going to be with Vlasic, with Karlsson, with the Bedard extension. I was a bit afraid about the money, so I went for the cheaper option. He was the higher overall and the cheaper option, so I went with Allmark. I know that he's been used in previous franchise modes. I think maybe only in our Buffalo franchise mode, but I know he's a common face in other YouTubers franchise modes. So he's just our backup for now. It was a cheaper option, and we'll continue rolling like that, but Vejmelka would have been a good option as well. And for the last comment, we'll go to Vesikuka, who says, "Hey buddy, love the series. Just wanted to put my 2 cents in. Just thinking why you signed Allmark. You could have gone the cheap way and used someone like Makanyemi for the backup slot and maybe get him to grow to at least 80 overall. Although I could see Allmark as a potential trade piece for the trade deadline if he does underperform, and then, maybe Makanyemi goes in the backup slot. You could wrap Allmark and Kniazev nicely if needed for a trade. Keep up the good work, buddy." Thank you very much for that comment. I have to say, the reason why I wanted to go with someone in that 82, 83 plus overall range as for our backup was because Makanyemi wasn't really cutting it as a 78. I tried to get this guy as an AHL assistant. He doesn't want to do it. Okay, bye. Makanyemi wasn't really cutting it. Samuel Montembeault at a 79 wasn't great. Did all right, but wasn't amazing. Machelli, not amazing in EA land, but he's doing very well in the real world for some AHL depth as well as ginning. So that's why, yes, Makanyemi has that medium fringe starter potential, but he's been at a 78 overall for a couple seasons now. And Ilya Samsonov has been struggling. I need someone who I can really rely on in the backup position, not someone who can learn from the starter and slowly grow with 10 starts. I mean, it needs someone who is going to take 30 or 40 starts. That's why we went to Linus Allmark. Now, that being said, we're here in the preseason without much to check out. Sometimes we really take our time in the preseason to do some experimentation, but I think the squad is pretty much set. No one in the AHL is really making the push. I don't think Tromala, Bystedt, or Weisblatt are going to be making the NHL this season. The only people who I'd be kind of thinking about would be defensively. We have 8D for 6 spots. So through the preseason, I'm going to rotate those 8 players for those 6 spots and give both goalies a fair amount of starts. But for the forwards, I don't think I'm going to touch them. I'm going to make the special teams and the penalty kill as I would like them to be in the regular season. And if anything major comes up, we can change accordingly. But I like to see how this team performs, especially that 4th line. So with all that being said, I'm going to go through the entire preseason and show you the results. All right, so through 7 games, we go 3-4-0. Not an amazing record. 7 points in 7 games from Jonathan Drouin, who led the team in scoring. Hurdle and Bedard both had 6 points each. Bushnevich, Couture, and Carlson all with 5. Eklund 4. Larry Tongue with 4. Now, on the 4th line, he had 2 goals and 3 points in 4 games. I then promoted him to the 3rd line, and from there he got another goal in the next 3 games, I think. Yeah, so 1 goal in 3 games since the promotion. He's doing better on the 4th line. But 4 points, 3 goals in 7 games for Larry Tongue. Cody Glass, 4 points. Cunnin, 3. Lucius, 3 assists. I want to see more from Lucius, especially goal-scoring wise. Lindell, 2. Bouchard, 2. Lindblom, Reedy, Ferraro, all with 2. Now, for the defense, Mario Ferraro, 2 assists and a +2 in 3 games. Vlasic, 2 games, -3. Kniazev, 2 games, even +-. So I think we're going to go with Ferraro on the 3rd pair to start things off. Rodin, no points and a +1 while averaging over 21.5 minutes of ice time per night. So hopefully it'll just come with time. Goaltending was not impressive. Allmark went 2-1-0 with an .878 save percentage. Samsonov won 3-0 with an .897 save percentage. So neither of them are really pulling away in who's going to be our full-time starter. I think Samsonov gets to hang on to the spot. Allmark did not convince me that he should be stealing that just yet. So I think to begin the season, we're going to have Ferraro in the 3rd D slot. We're going to have Tongue sticking with the team. And we're going to have Samsonov starting things off for the season opener at home at the Shark Tank against the Edmonton Oilers. So I'll fix up the lineup and then we'll jump into that one. And before we get started, I'm going to try and trade Zachary Emo to the Avalanche, a team that has only 3 goalies in their entire system because with 30 contracts, they're at the salary cap. So could I get a 6th round pick? Not even. Could I get 7th? Imo, just our 3rd goalie in the, of 4 in the AHL, so I wouldn't mind making the 4th our actual number 3 and just getting Imo out of there. The value isn't up to snuff at all. I'm trying to do you a favor here, Colorado. If I can't swap 7ths just to get Imo on a team where he's going to play, there you go. Trade accepted. All right, so we swap 7ths. Hopefully it'll be a better 7th round pick just to give Imo to a team where he can actually play in the AHL because it's too crammed in our system. So Imo, all the best. Bonne chance, mon ami. And here we are to begin 2025-26, year number 4 at the Shark Tank in San Jose against the Edmonton Oilers. Evan Bouchard to get up against his old team to start the season. We had a great year last year, finishing, third in the entire league. It all starts now. Game 1 of 82. Let's hit it. First period, 3-0 Oilers. Nugent-Hopkins on the power play, Silverberg, and then Lavoie. A minute and 1 second into the season. Who's taking a penalty? And then we're allowing a power play goal. Cross-checking Minor. 39 seconds into the season. Thank you. All right. Second period, 4-2. All right, we have some life. Couture gets us back on the board. Hurdle brings us within 1, but then Raphael Lavoie with a backbreaker on Allmark, who's now between the pipes. We're down by 2, headed into the third, being outshot. We're outshooting them 23-17. Power play Edmonton early in the third. We kill that one off, thankfully, but then Lomberg makes it a 3-goal lead. All right, power play San Jose. Not a great season opener here, unfortunately. Down by 3 with under 10 to go. And I think we'll just go ahead and call it there. 6-2 the final. Dylan Holloway adds another one. Yikes, that's one of our worst season openers in any franchise mode in a while. 6-2 loss. Who are the negatives in this one? Couture was a +1. That's great. And so was Bouchard. -2s from Carlson, Lindblom, Cunnin, Reedy. The players with the least amount of ice time there. Then Carlson playing almost 28 minutes. And goaltenders, we see Samsonov. What? 3 goals on 3 shots? In 7 minutes, he faces 3 shots and allows 3 goals. 3 goals on 3 shots. What a way to start the season in front of the home fans. Allmark makes 26 saves on 29 shots, but not good enough, unfortunately. Samsonov, disgusting stuff, buddy. You're going to be riding the bench for a little bit. Well, that's a tough way to start the season. Linus Allmark, you'll be starting next game. No question there. We're still at home. We're against a California rival now, the LA Kings. The team that we had the unbelievable comeback again in round number 1 against. We were down 3-1 in the series. We came back, went to game 7. We're down 3-2 in that game. Tied at 3-3 with the pulled goalie. He scored again 5 seconds later. It was one of the greatest moments in channel history. Check it out if you haven't already. Logan Couture, 2 points last game. Thank you, captain. But let's see if we can try and get a dub here in front of the home fans. First shot of the night. So that's 4 goals. The first 3 shots of last game we concede. And today we concede the first shot. Can we make a save on shot number 2? Let's see when that shot comes. Hold on, let's go times 8 speed. When's that shot going to come? Can we make a save? Hey, there you go. First period ends 1-0. Drew Doughty opens it up 15 seconds in. We're down 1-0 after 20. Second period, down 3-0 as Kopitar scores twice. Once even strength and once on the power play. I know the goaltending's atrocious here, but what about the scoring? Let's go. We have 2 goals in, 5 periods? Let's go. Third period, final half of this one. 10 minutes to go. No goals on 27 shots. Quinton Byfield makes it 4. Turcotte makes it 5. 5 goals on 29 shots. 29 save shutout for Peter Marachik. Congratulations, buddy. Linus Allmark allows 5 on 29. 828 save percentage. Nice. And how are the plus minuses in this one? Let's see. Zeros from a few guys. -2 from Ferraro, Eklund, Bushnevich, Pickering, Reedy. No goals from that top line yet. That +3 of 88, 90, and 87 overall. Really shocking stuff to start the season. I don't even know who to put between the pipes in the next game. Kanazko, this guy from the AHL, signs on. That's nice. But I'm just going to do another slow sim. And if this is, maybe we just go to the calendar sim. I don't know what to say. Still at home against the Vegas Golden Knights, another rival. Here we go. Let's put a show on for the fans here who have been leaving after the second period for a couple nights in a row. First period, 2-0. Thank you very much. Pavel Bushnevich scores his first as a Shark, and then Tomas Hertl gets another to make it 2-0 after 20. Our first lead after a period. Second period now, 3-1. Nick Bastian makes it a 1-goal game. Then Tomas Hertl gets his second of the night on the power play. We're up by 2 headed into the third period, looking for our first win of the season here in game number 3. 5 minutes in, still holding on to our lead. Vegas outshooting us now 26-22. Power play for the Golden Knights. We kill it off halfway through the third period, still up by 2. We're coming back in the shot category a little bit. Under 5 to go. No scoring in this third period. That's just how we like it, I suppose. Hold on, Pietrangelo with 30 seconds left. We hang on for the victory. Shoo. Shots end 30-27. Samsonov wakes up. Gets himself a star. Yes, he does. Second star honors. 2 assists from Eklund. 2 goals from Tomas Hertl. There's our first win of the season. Let's get into some calendar simulation after finally getting a dub. And we're going to go maybe like Larry Tongue. Let's see those 9 games from Larry Tongue game. That'll be our first stopping point. Actually, we'll want to see a Stanley Cup final rematch in a week from now against the Carolina Hurricanes. We're going to be hosting them. We beat Dallas 3-2 in the shootout, and then the Kraken, we beat them, I think, according to their record. Yeah, we beat them 4-3. So we lose 2, then we win 3. Let's take it to the 1-3-0 Carolina Hurricanes. We're 3-2-0 ourselves. They are reigning Stanley Cup champions, but we're welcoming them into the Shark Tank with a lot of frustration. And of course, a huge chip on our shoulders. First shot of the game for both teams go in. First shot of the night, and then Svechnikov. 2 goals on 2 shots for the Hurricanes and Svechnikov. Let's just get through this first period, and it ends 3-1. All right, so Samsonov allows 2 goals in the first 2 shots. I'm not sure what's happening here in the slow sim. Buchnevich had the first goal in the first shot of the night. We're down by 2 after 20. Second period, we're down by 3. 4 goals on 22 shots against Samsonov. 4-1 Hurricanes after 40. Is it the slow sim? Is it the team? What's going on over here? No scoring and horrible goaltending. 6-1. 6 goals on 31 shots. Are you serious? Is it the slow sim? Because I'm going to stay out of the slow sim if that's what it is. Let's get to game number 9 for Tanguay, but I don't know what's happening. So after that 6-1 loss, we somehow get a 3-0 victory. 2-1 loss. Mild concussion for Buchnevich out until November 10th. I think that's like a week away or so. So no major changes necessary. We'll promote Drouin back to the first line. Okay, that's taken care of. Back to the calendar, and then a 4-2 win against the Coyotes. So we're 5-4-0 through the first 9 games of the season. Larry, let's see what's going on. And 7 points in 9 games for Tomas Hertl, leading the team in points. Where's Connor Bedard? Oh, I hope I see him also with 7 or 6. Bedard, 4 points. Well, he had 44 goals last year. 1 goal and 4 points in 9 games. What? Oh my goodness. And what's going on with Tanguay? Where is he at? 2 assists in 9 games, -3. Nah, I'm kind of inclined to just send him down. I know it wasn't a horrible show, and he has, what, 11.5 minutes of ice time per night? It just, he could be in over his head. I don't know if I want him in that role. I'd probably get someone better. Like, Grigor can fill the hole for now, but I'd probably prefer someone else longer term. So I'm going to send Larry Tanguay down. I'm going to have to call somebody else up because Grigor is already in for Buchnevich, but I'm going to figure something out, see who's in free agency, maybe see if there's a depth guy we can make a quick trade for. Just do my due diligence. So for the time being, we're going to go with Jonah Gadjevich on the 4th line. He's been with the organization the entire time that we've been here. He's always been in the AHL. Not doing anything too wild, but he's a big body, 6'2" with 5-star physical. So I'm going to keep him on the 4th line just for now. When Buchnevich comes back, Grigor will stay in the lineup. Then we can figure out who's actually going to be our full-time 13th forward. I'm going to try Eklund, Bedard, Drouin as the first line longer term because that's the line that did so well last season. Plus, I'm going to try swapping Lindell and Rodin. Rodin, no points, -3 so far in the year. So I'm going to try Lindell with Carlson. Maybe that'll do something. And of course, Allmark will continue to get the starts. He's the goalie who got the shutout. He has 3 of our wins so far. I'm going to keep rolling with him. Tanguay will play first line AHL, and we'll check back in on him later down the road this season. Let's just go. I think there's only 1 more game without Buchnevich, actually, so we'll see how we do here against the Capitals, and we should have him for the road trip, the 4-game road trip that begins in Ottawa. The Capitals are 7-3-1. They beat us 6-0. That's wonderful. 5-5-0 is our record, and Buchnevich is fully healed. Okay, so here will be our lines at full health, but I'm really just at a loss for words. Eklund, okay, 7 points in 10 games, but Bedard with only 4 points in 10 games. Maybe maybe he needs more ice time. Only 20 minutes per night. I'm not sure where he's losing time. I could look into the special teams. 20 minutes per night last season. He was doing even less, actually. So, and he scored 44 goals and 77 points. Maybe I could try to find some more special teams for him. Nah, he's already everywhere. 4-on-4-1, 3-on-3-1, power play 1, 4-man power play 1. He's everywhere. I don't have him on penalty kill right now. Maybe I could add him there. I don't know what to tell you. So we're 5-5-0. We're at full health. Let's see how we do against the 9-3-1 Ottawa Senators in Ottawa. Yikes. We're getting to a point where, like, changes need to happen, not just, like, mix-ups. First period, 1-0, Tomas Hertl, thank you very much. Second period, 4-3, high-scoring period. DeBrincat, back and forth, each one. DeBrincat on the power play, then Eklund. DeBrincat on the power play again, then Buchnevich. Shabbat, and then Cunnin. We're up 4-3. 1-goal lead, being outshot 23-21 headed into the third period. Of course, there's a DeBrincat hat-trick. We just scored last, so it makes sense that now Ottawa scores. But now, according to what we've seen so far, the trend, we are due for the next goal. DeBrincat with 3 of the 4 Senator goals. Power play Sharks, extended power play for the Sharks, killed off by the Senators with under 5 to go. And there is Sam Reedy! And then William Eklund makes it 6-4. Or was it Scott Reedy? I keep saying Sam Reedy. Scott Reedy. And we come away with the big victory. Reedy, the game-winning goal. Eklund with another even-strength marker less than a minute later. Shots end 33-31, and we just squeeze out the 6-4 victory against Mads Sogard and the Ottawa Senators when we have 85 and 86 overall goaltenders. Hat-trick DeBrincat and an assist. 2 goals from William Eklund to be our hero. Well, really the hero is Reedy, but the man, our player of the game would be William Eklund. So there's a victory, thankfully. Let's just get a little, to the end of the month, a little batch of simulation done where we can have a larger sample size to try and dissect everything that's been going on over here. Erik Karlsson, injured foot. Very nice. He's out for another week or so. Okay, lines are fixed. Such a process. You say replacing all lines, and it doesn't replace in all lines. Why does it say May 2026? What are these glitches? 4-1 victory against the Panthers, and a 6-2 loss against the Canadiens. Just keep on going. We're 7-6-0 through 13 games. Couple more games on the road. Blackhawks and then Avalanche. We beat the Hawks 5-3 in Chicago. Now in Colorado, thankfully Erik Karlsson, fully healed, was not gone for long. And you know what? Kniazev has 2 assists in 3 games. Our worst defenseman by far has been Mats Rodin. So you know what? No one is immune. I'm not saying Rodin's going to sit for a long time, but let's take a couple games off from Rodin. Let's get Kniazev in the lineup with Bouchard, because, we can't just keep him in there if he's doing horrible. Got to send a message a little bit here. Let's go. 5-1 win against the Avalanche on the road. Then we play them at home. They're 8-5-2. We beat them 5-1 in game number 1, and then in the second game a couple days later, they shut us out 2-0. Minnesota Wild at home. We lose 3-2. A couple of losses by 1 or 2 goals. We are 9-8-0, and now we have 3 games on the road coming up. St. Louis Blues, 1-0 shutout victory. Wow. Dallas Stars, we beat them 5-2, and then Seattle Kraken on the road last game before we head into December of 2025. They are 4-10-7. We beat them 6-3. Wow. So we are now 12-8-0. We're winning without Rodin in the lineup, but we got to get him back in there. Let's hope that sent a bit of a message. What I want to see is how did Kniazev do? Kniazev, buddy, with Bouchard, 3 assists and a +3 in 8 games. Not bad. 1 goal, 5 assists, 3 assists from Pickering. Everyone else is doing okay. Yeah, no one I could really take out. I'd almost just keep Rodin out. I would really be close to doing that. But 83 overall, medium elite, he has to play. So I'm going to take... I want Pickering to play too. And Frau's been good. I guess it's Kniazev, I guess, but I've been very impressed with him. I'm going to keep him ready at a moment's notice. 1 assist, -5 for Rodin through 15 games. Let's go. Hope that little 5 games of being in the press box woke you up a little bit. Everything else, how's Bedard doing? 5 goals, 7 assists. Plus minuses aren't great. Lucius, 5 goals, as many as Bedard. Third line, what's up? 3 assists, 7 points, 6 points. We're getting close to let's make some changes territory. 20 games, let's go to the 25 game mark. 5 more games after the game against Florida. Then we'll take a moment to pause and reflect upon all that has transpired thus far. 5 more big games here. Columbus Blue Jackets beat us 5-3. On the road against Calgary, they beat us 6-3. 3 more games, Vancouver, Winnipeg, and Florida. 5-3 loss to make it 3 in a row. Winnipeg, who are 6-15-4, we barely beat them 4-3. And then Florida, who are 8-14-1, we beat them 5-0. Okay, at least. So we're 14-11-0 through 25 games. Let's check things out. Is Hertl still leading the team in points? Yeah, 22-25 for Hertl. Let's check out what's going on here in the standings, league standings. Maybe Bedard and Hertl need to swap? I don't know. In the entire NHL, we are probably somewhere in the middle. 19th, there we are. 19th place in the NHL. A few games in hand over some other teams who have played 28. Yeah, 56% winning percentage. We're allowing way too many goals. Power play, 9.2%, probably the worst in the NHL. 4th worst in the NHL for the power play, so we're going to have to move that around. And penalty kill, 81.3, one of the worst in the league as well. Okay, so special teams are getting an overhaul. Before, we got to, exhaust everything that we have first before we start making changes. But we're going to swap around the lines and the power play and penalty kill. 22 and 25 for Hurdle. 19 points for Chaz Lucius. Go, buddy. Okay. That second line's been great. I don't want to break them up. Maybe I make the second line the first line. I don't know. Eklund 19, Drouin 19, Bedard 18. I'd love to see Buchnevich's stats just with the second line. 18 and 24 for him. Erik Karlsson 12 and 22. Glass 10. Couture 9. That's hurting me. Couture is only averaging 13.45. Evan Bouchard 9. Cunnin 7 points, -4. Scott Reedy 5 goals, 6 points, -7. Oh my goodness. Lindell 6 points +5. Ferraro 6. Lindblom 4, -5. Lindblom, buddy, you're here for the special teams. If our special teams are not doing well and you're not pulling your weight on that third line, it might be time to move on. Grigor, 3 points in 16 games. Rodin, okay, he woke up now. 3 points. The last 5 games, he has a goal and an assist after he had an assist through 15 games. Kniazev, of course. Pickering, 3 assists, -1. And then Gadjevich. Goaltending, let's see what's up over here. Allmark 7-5-0. Allmark 7-7-0. 2 shutouts for Allmark, 1 shutout for Samsonov. They combine for 14 wins and 3 shutouts. Both sub 900 save percentages and both around 3-ish goals against per game. So I'll do what I can. I'm going to change up the lines, change up the special teams, give it another 10 games or so. But then if we're still struggling at the halfway point, it's going to be time to make some changes. Because after a Stanley Cup final appearance, one of the best teams in the NHL, to be performing like this, unacceptable. Now, last season around this point, we were like 3rd last or 5th last, and we turned it around and finished 3rd. So it's not too late, but we can't keep festering in mediocrity. Alright, so I messed around with the lines a little bit, including swapping Thomas Hurdle with Connor Bedard. Instead of +1, +3, now it's +2, +3. And I'm also going to put Luke Cunnin onto the third line. Nothing crazy this year, 7 points in 25 games, but he's been known to really turn up when needed, especially in the last postseason. So he'll play third line with Glass and Couture. Defense, we're going to keep it the same. And for the special teams, especially power play 1, I'm going to try Rodin coming onto the first unit. It's a +5. Buchnevich will go to the second unit and replace Cody Glass, who's been okay this season, 5 goals, 5 assists, but he's not great for the chemistry, and he's not, I guess, really the spark that we want on the second unit. Maybe Pavel Buchnevich can be that. And between the pipes, we're going to go Ilya Samsonov for another one here. His save percentage, both the save percentages are pretty even here, but he has the slightly better goals against average, so let's try and give him the reins for this one. Penalty kill also swapped around some pieces there, so hopefully the special teams will get a little bit better in the next 15 games or so until the halfway point of the season. The Islanders are 14-9-2. We're 14-11-0. We're both 5-5-0 in our last 10 games. Let's see if this sparks a little bit of passion in us. First period, 1-1. J.G. Pajot opens it up on Samsonov, but then Pavel Buchnevich on the power play. His new spot on that second unit, tying this game up at 1. Very nice. Second period now. Ooh, baby. 5-2 Islanders. Anthony Duclair makes it 2-1 Islanders. Jonathan Drouin on the power play ties it up at 2. But then Clifton, Hintz, and Barzal. Clifton and Hintz like 30 seconds apart, 29 seconds apart. Then Barzal on the power play. We're being outshot 29-20, and we're down by 3 here against the Islanders. Again, it's the goaltending. It's the, I don't know if it's the defense. What is it? But we also got to get some scoring going as well. A couple power plays for the Islanders that we kill off, thankfully. We're being out. Yeah. Boone Jenner scores on the 38th shot of the night, being outshot 38-23 at that moment. Final 5 minutes, let's just call it 7-3. Cunnin adds one with 12 seconds to go. 42-25, the shots end. 7 goals against Ilya Samsonov. That's lovely. And he ends with a 33 save percentage. Great. Great, great, great. Negatives in this one. -3 from Pickering. Hurdle, Eklund, Drouin. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Nothing that can be said except for wow. Luke Cunnin's scoring goal was something cool. But I'm going back to Allmark for a good little stretch. I'm turning auto goalie rotate off for the next like 10 games and giving them all to Allmark. And then we'll do some calendar simulation. Let's get another little batch of simulation going. Playing the Detroit Red Wings, who are a losing team. We lose in the shootout. Our first overtime or shootout loss of the season. 4-3 against Detroit. Rangers, who are 16-9-3, beat us 3-2. That is now a 3-game losing streak, or 0-2-1 in our last 3. 7-1 win, 4-1 win. Okay, Nizza, let's go. Groy. Vancouver, in Vancouver against the Canucks. We lose 6-1, but then we win 4-2 against the Ducks. Okay, that was a weird little stretch. 4-3 in the last, well, since making all those changes, 7 games have passed, and we are 3-3-1. All right, in the last 7 since those line changes. Let's go through LA, Chicago. Let's go see, I don't know who I want to go see because I don't like the slow simming at this time. It's not beneficial to us at all to slow sim games, it seems like. 4-3 shutout loss against the LA Kings. Tanguay's injured in the AHL for a little bit. We'll have the auto replacement there. Chicago, they're 22-10-3. Again, a 4-3 shutout loss. Our 3 shutout losses have all been 4-3. 7-4 win against the Flyers, and then a 6-4 loss against the Penguins. Larry Tanguay fully healed. And then a 3-2 win against the Capitals. All right, so that's how many games now? 37 games, 38, 39. We'll leave 40 and 41 to the slow sim. And then we'll at the halfway point will be after the game against Winnipeg. Detroit, they're 17-19-3. They just beat us last time. And finally, we beat them now 4-3. Calgary willing to give us a 5th in exchange for Vlasic and a 7th. Keep that in mind as we get close to the halfway point and the deadline as well. We're going to be making decisions at the end of this episode. We shut out the Penguins 4-0. All right. We're 21-15-3 up against the 22-17-1 Boston Bruins at home. Linus Ullmark's been doing all right, but let's say he does in the slow sim. First period, 4-2 Sharks. Wow. Logan Couture opens it up with 9:43 to go. Hurdle extends it to 2. Dadonov and then Yanni Gourde a minute later ties it up once more. Scott Reedy and then Oscar Lindblom with 24 seconds left. A little fourth line magic from those two. And we're up by 2. Shots tied at 13 after 20. Second period, 7-4. Oh my goodness. Logan Couture's second, Luke Cunnin, and then Connor Bedard's first of the slow sim that we've seen in this entire episode. Pavel Zacha scoring twice on Ullmark. So Ullmark's allowed 4 on 21, but Swayman's allowed 7 on 27. We're up by 3. 7-4 is the score. Make that 8-4 as Cunnin scores his second of the game. What a wild barn burner this one is. 8-5 is Charlie Coyle. 8-6 is Vetrano scores another minute later. There's 9-6 Logan Couture. That is second. 15 goals scored on like 55 shots. 10-6 Mario Ferraro. Double digits in a slow sim. When's the last time we saw that? 5 minutes to go, and Swayman's still in there. He allowed, what, 10 on 37? 10-6 the final. 16 goals on 68 shots. Whew. Oh my goodness. 4-point nights from Cunnin and Couture. Got a hat-trick. Hat-trick from the captain. Cody Glass, 3 assists. Lindblom, Reedy, Ferraro, a +5 with 2 points. Bedard, Eklund, Carlson, all with 2. Grigor, Bushnevich, all with 1. What? Rodin and Bouchard -4s when the team scores 10 goals? Owen Pickering a +5. That defensive pair has to change. Rodin and Bouchard, no points, -4. If you had them in their fantasy lineups after a night like tonight, you are furious. 3 stars, Couture the captain, first star, Cunnin 2 goals, 2 assists, and Cody Glass 3 assists. Let me see the save percentages as well as on this one. As Ullmark has an 800 save percentage, 6 goals on 30 shots. But Jeremy Swayman, I want to see the numbers on this one. 10 on 38, a 737 save percentage. Oh my goodness. Sharks win 10-6 the final game before the halfway point. Wow, we got to change up that second pair. I'm going to swap Mario Ferraro up to the second pair, I think. He's been doing amazing. All right, so Ferraro swapped up to the second pair. He's going to swap with Rodin. We are currently 3rd in the Pacific. A win here might leapfrog us into 2nd, depending on how many games the Kings play between now and our game against Seattle. Bedard leading the team in points. That's great. We're up against the Winnipeg Jets, who are 3-6-1 in their last 10. 10-24-5 on the season. Can we end off with a victory to close out the first half with a bang? First period, 4-2. After scoring 10 last game, we score 4 in the first period. Love it. Scheifele opens it up short-handed. Bedard on the power play, on that same power play just like 34 seconds later. Brad Lambert, less than a minute after that, restores the 2-1 lead for Winnipeg. But then 3 unanswered from Carlson, Bouchard, and Cody Glass. Evan Bouchard with his new line mate, new D-pair partner, Mario Ferraro. Love it. So that's 14 goals in the last 5 periods for us. Excuse me, the last 4 periods for us. Second period, 5-3. Logan Brown makes it a 1-goal game. William Eklund restores the 2-goal lead, but then Dylan DeMello, former Shark, with 24 seconds to go. That's 4 goals on 19 shots against Ullmark, 5 on 16 against Connor Hellebuck. We're up by 1 headed into the third. We've scored 15 goals in the last 5 periods, averaging 3 per period. Victor Hedman on the power play in Winnipeg ties it up. Power play Sharks goes nowhere, being outshot 25-20. Only 45 shots, but 10 goals scored in this one. Another barn burner. Power play Winnipeg once more, killed off by the Sharks. Love to see it. Final 5 minutes, tied at 5. What a wild couple games this has been. Final 20 seconds, we're headed to overtime. Shots 32-26 for the Jets, 5-5 after 60. Overtime here in game 41. Bedard, Eklund, and Karlsson are out. Overtime here against the Jets. Bedard wins that face-off to Karlsson. Eklund carrying over the blue line. He gets hit by Victor Hedman. No interference call. Nice pass there. Now Kyle Connor's come on one-on-one against Connor Bedard. Kyle Connor over to Hedman. Ullmark slides across the crease and hangs on. Hurdle against Scheifele. Defensive zone face-off. Scheifele wins it. Morrissey at the point. Stick lifted by Buchnevich. Can he exit? Please, thank you. Up to Tomas Hurdle. Hurdle, little 2-on-2. Now all 3 men are back for the Jets. Hurdle has space! Glove save from Hellebuck. Hurdle up against Perfetti here at the face-off. Defensive zone face-off. Hurdle wins back to Buchnevich! Stopped by Hellebuck as Bouchard had a nice little set play idea, giving it right down to Buchnevich in the slot. 1:06 to go in overtime. Hurdle and Buchnevich back out. They've been doing well. Face-off won by the Jets. Buchnevich kind of breaks it up. Ullmark makes the save. Trip! Oh my goodness, Lindell gets tripped. Now it'll be a power play coming up for the Sharks. And the Jets touch it right there. Beautiful. Let's get, all right. We'll go second unit forwards with first unit defense. Tom Wilson, 2 for tripping. That's his penalty for holding, even though it said it was the ref did the tripping signal and we saw there was a trip. We see that it's a trip. All right. Okay, power play. Push for offense. Coach adjustment accepted. Drouin Couture out with Karlsson. I can't see who else that is. Against Adam Lowry and 2 other Jets defensemen. We're 1 for 2 in the power play tonight. Couture wins it. Karlsson from the point, turned aside by Hellebuck. Bedard poked by Hellebuck. Victor Hedman will clear that down. And it's even a 4-minute power play. What? Why is it a 4-minute power play? Here's Hedman. Gets over to Logan Stanley. Let's just let him walk through. Let's go. Drouin up to Logan Couture. 36 seconds to go. Couture dekes nobody. Gets the puck across, though, and it's broken up. Hedman clears it out once more. That was a really weird play. Let's go. Change up, boys. Final 30 seconds. Karlsson, Buchnevich. Coming onto the ice now is William Eklund. Across to Chaz Lucius. Lucius against the team that drafted him. Lucius across to Buchnevich, who puts it just wide. And Hedman once more clears it down. Hurdle up to Lucius. Final 10 seconds. Eklund, here's a chance. Lucius, lots of space. What's he doing? Why does the AI never want to shoot the puck? Oh, after 65 minutes, we are still tied and headed to a shootout. Shots end 37-30 for the Jets, 5-5 after 65. Now here we go into the shootout. First shooter is Rutger McGroarty. Here he comes on Ullmark. Nice little move, but runs out of space and has to take the shot, and Ullmark has the pad on it. We could have gotten McGroarty. We went with Chaz Lucius when we could have gotten a prospect from the Jets. Lucius has been doing well. Connor Bedard, first shooter here for the Sharks. Bedard, forehand, backhand. Once again, they wait too long, run out of space, and it's a terrible angle shot. Once in a while, the AI physics allow it to go in, but here's Kyle Connor now. Just takes the shot, and Ullmark gets the glove around that one. Very good. All right. Now Buchnevich to put the Sharks ahead. To take the lead in this shootout. Tries a little move in tight, but Hellebuck did not bite and just stood tall in front of that one. Mark Scheifele now to get the first goal in this shootout. No, Ullmark, same as Hellebuck. Stands tall, doesn't bite, just makes the easy save. Chaz Lucius now for the win against his former team. Lucius! Backhand stop by Hellebuck, not to be. All right, a fourth shooter now for the Jets. I didn't see who that was. Coming in. Ooh, great blocker there. That was on Cole Perfetti. Great blocker from Ullmark. Now Tomas Hurdle for the win. Hurdle! Stopped by Hellebuck. Both goalies making, what, 5 saves each now? 4 or 5 saves each? Now here's Nick Ehlers coming in on Ullmark for the first goal so far. Ooh, sweet little toe drag. And that will put the onus now on the Sharks, who have to score to stay alive. Sweet little move there. It all comes down to Jonathan Drouin. Drouin! Stopped by Hellebuck. We will get the extra point, but the Jets come away with the win in this one. 6-5 in the shootout. So a tough way to hit the halfway point, but hey, after 41 games, we are on a pace to go 44, 30, and 8. Is that good enough? It's not ideal. let's see the team and player performances. And especially in the last like 15 games or so, has the power play and penalty kill improved a little bit, as well as our position in the entire NHL. We were 19th after, what, 25 games previously? We're now 9th. All right, 9th place. 10 spots better than we were. Okay, we're scoring a lot more. We're at like 2.9 goals per game, 3.44 now. Still allowing about the same, though. Power play up to 14.7%. Still not amazing, but more in the middle and maybe even closer to the top. Let me see. Takes a good millennium to scroll down, but there we go, 14.7. So yeah, I'd say about smack dab in the middle, maybe slightly closer to the bottom than the top, but better than single digits. And penalty kill has improved a little bit as well, I believe, 83.8. Yeah, not in the basement of the league anymore. I think that's a little closer to the bottom than the power play is, but still... yeah, okay, we're around there, 83.8%. So special teams have improved, both the power play and the penalty kill. Give a larger sample size. Hopefully it will continue to improve even more. Through 41 games, Connor Bedard is on pace to go 40 goals and 86 points. Pretty good. I think moving into the second line role really helped him out. He's only averaging 19.25 per night, but it seems like too much is too much. Trop c'est trop, so... not going to do much more than that. Pavel Buchnevich is point per game, 40 in 40. He's been doing very well, turning it up since the last time we saw. Thomas Hertl, 38 points in 41 games, on pace to score 76 points. I like that. Jonathan Drouin, 35 points, on pace for 70. Chaz Lucius, 13 goals and 34 points, on pace for 26 goals and 68 points. Amazing. Eklund, same thing right there, 12 goals, 22 assists. Erik Karlsson, 30 points in 38 games. Love it. Couture, 25. He's woken up a bit. Cody Glass, 18. Cunnin, 16. Bouchard, 14. Ferraro, 11 points. I like that a lot. Scott Reedy, 10 points, negative 10. Maybe we need a better presence in that fourth line. Lindell, 10 points, plus 18. Pickering, 8 assists, negative 3. Rodin, 7 points, negative 11 through 36 games. Lindblom, 6 points, negative 7. Probably time to move on from him, I guess. Fan favorite, both in the real world and the virtual world, but... yikes. Gregor, 4 points, negative 3 in 32 games. Kniazev, 3 assists, plus 3 in 8 games. Should we try and get him in the lineup? See what we can do for him in the second half. Goaltending, Allmark, 15, 8, and 4 with 3 shutouts. 892 save percentage, 3.17 goals against. Samsonov, 7, 8, and 0. 1 shutout, 881, 3.24 goals against average. Looking at the entire NHL, just I'm curious to see who are the best goalies in the league. Cal Peterson, who's in the minor leagues in the real world. Peter Marachik, who is like on the IR every day. Jussi Saros, Ottinger, of course, there's Kakinen. No matter where he goes, now that he's left our team, he'll do amazing. Demko, Vasilevsky, Husso, Campbell. There must be some team that has 2 goalies that they can spare one. And in the entire NHL for scoring, it is Austin Matthews, 31 goals and 55 points through 43 games. DeBrincat, Miller, Ovechkin still up there. McDavid, McKinnon, Kevin Fiala. Ovechkin, 40 years of age and still getting it done. Okay. So the last thing to do before we call it a halfway point is to check out the trade blocks around the NHL. We know that we could use some improvements in the bottom 6, maybe goaltending. So let's check out all of the forwards and goaltenders who are available across the NHL. Sorting by overall, here in Anaheim, we see Barbashev, Fowler, Bailey, Kuzmenko, and Pysyk all on 1-year deals. Okay. Coyotes, nobody. Bruins, Carrier, Nudvera, Forbort, Ruda, Poitras. Buffalo, Gavrikov, and Sprong. Calgary, Kadri, we were thinking about him. 4 years left at $7 million, though. Over in Calgary, he has, what's he doing? 19 goals, 14 assists. Okay, what's that? 33 points in 42 games. JVR, Lizotte, Janmark, Rask really goes down after that, but Kadri's up there. And by the way, since he's probably going to be someone that we talk about, maybe, the Flames are currently 20, 17, and 5, so I'm not sure if they'd be doing that. But that's their situation at the moment. Carolina, we see some prospects. Prospects in Chicago. Columbus prospects. Excuse me, that was Colorado. Columbus also prospects. Dallas, Fost, Savard, Stastny at 40 years of age. Max Pacioretty at 37 years of age. He has not played at all this season. Matt Benning also there. Detroit, we see Larkin, Bertuzzi, Kopp, Klingberg, Nyquist. All with multi-year deals, though. Edmonton Oilers, Yamamoto still an RFA. The poor guy can never get playing time. Nakamura still on their block for them. 10th overall pick in 2024. I don't think his overall has really changed at all. It's his second year in... last year played in the NHL. This year he's playing in the AHL. Okay. Florida Panthers prospects, LA Kings, Kevin Fiala, one of the league leaders in points, 44 points in 42 games, 4 years left on his deal. Kopitar, Kempe, Niederreiter, all on expiring deals. Jason Zucker's out there. He ended up signing with the Kings, but they're 23, 17, and 2. Would they really be trading their top goal scorer at this moment in time? I don't know. Dahan Stahl also on the team. Minnesota, Eriksson Ek, Lawton, DeBrusk, Trennan, Merrill, Johnson, all a few names there. Cizikas, they're 19, 17, and 5. Also, the bottom we see Petrovsky and 71. Yeah, okay. Montreal Canadiens, Pesci, Gallagher, Shea, Matheson, Gagne, Martinez, Heinen, and Coleman. A couple of players on expiring deals. Nashville Predators, a couple prospects. Actually, this is a prospect the Predators have offered me multiple times. Jukka Koivu, 21st overall pick in 2025, 63 overall, 19 years of age. Not super interested, I wouldn't say there. This guy, top 4D, Matthew Virgilio, two-way D, okay, New Jersey on the block. Islanders, nobody. Rangers, ran one guy. Mathieu Joseph, Joel Edmondson, Lars Eller, Hinostroza, and Goodbranson, all expiring deals in Ottawa. The Senators are 24, 12, and 5, though. What's with these teams wanting to trade? Anyone who's on an expiring deal. No one wants to actually go for the cup. Expiring deal, trade them. Murray and Blackwell on the block in Philly. Lazar in Pittsburgh. Guryanov, Wenberg, Barabanov, and Strome in Seattle. Now, Alex Wenberg, we were thinking about him, but 5 years left on his deal. 1 goal and 6 points in 41 games. But he's playing on the 4th line. Yeah, that's crazy. Only playing 946 per night. Guryanov, can we try to save his career? 18 goals, 14 assists. Fits the 4th line. Doesn't forget the line fit. Barabanov, 83 overall, 9 points, former friend. And Strome, 2 years left on his deal. Has not played at all this season. And the Kraken are 12, 19, and 10. That's some bad luck in the overtime and shootout. All right, there's Seattle. St. Louis, we see D'Angelo Falk, Pareko, Montour, Shillington, Shattenkirk, and Robert Haig. Most of those guys on multi-year deals, unfortunately. Tampa Bay, nobody. Toronto, Zadorov, Suter, and the guy Ryan. Vancouver, Lekaramaki on the block, 78 overall, 21 years of age, 4 goals, 8 assists in the AHL. Vegas, Roy, Engvall, Tanev, Aston Reese, some decent depth pieces, and they are 18, 24, and 1, so it makes sense for them to want to trade some of these guys. Okay. Some depth pieces. Washington, nobody, and Winnipeg prospects. So if you want to know more about any of those players, let me know in a comment or on the Discord server. I can look more at their stats if you're curious. But there are all the forwards and defense on the block. So now I'm going to go through the goalies and see if any teams have goaltenders on the block. And of course, only looking at NHL caliber goaltenders. Buffalo has Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen on the block. RFA, so he can't play this season, but he's an 87 overall. Do we sign him for next year? He had a decent first full season as a starter. 46, 41, and 14 in his career. 9-10 save percentage, 2.76 goals against. Okay, keep that in mind. Or even fringe kind of guys, like Cranley here, 77 overall, medium starter, 23 years of age in Chicago. Lucas Dostal on the block in Columbus, 84 overall, on 2 years left on his deal. Really good numbers in a small sample size, and he's a channel legend back on our NHL 20 series with the Ducks. I would not mind Lucas Dostal. And that's it for goalies on the block in the NHL, but it can't be. There must be some teams that have like 2 goalies and they don't need both of them, and they're both really good. Let me also just do my due diligence. Yeah, like for example, like look at Kochetkov. He's an 81 overall in the minors. Like that's what I'm talking about. So let me find teams that have an excess of like 80 plus overall goaltenders, because okay, there's the first little bit, goalies on the block. Now let's look at other goalies who are not on the block but also don't have a lot of value, and we could pick up if we gave that team the right deal. The Coyotes have Jonas Korpisalo in the minors, plus Antti Ranta as their current backup. James Reimer in the minors over in Boston, and 44-year-old Craig Anderson. He's going to be setting a record for one of the oldest players I've ever seen in franchise mode. That's wild. Aside from Dostal, the Blue Jackets also have Tarasov, 82 overall in the minors. Olivier Rodrigue at an 81 overall down in the minors for the Oilers. Caden Primo at an 82 in the AHL for Montreal. Dan Vladar at an 83 backing up Freddie Anderson in Montreal, and Caden Primo down in the AHL at an 82. Neither of them with great numbers. Phoenix Copley in the AHL at an 80. Anthony Stolarz at an 82 in New York. Stuart Skinner in the AHL is an 83 overall in Ottawa. Not the last year of his deal as well. Wow, okay. And his numbers are okay. They're all right. Georgiev at an 84, backing up Mads Sogard. Excuse me, yeah, Mads Sogard, who's not doing too hot. So 3 83 to 84 overall goaltenders in Ottawa. Chris Drieger at an 82 in Tampa, as well as Hugo Allenfelt at an 83 playing in the NHL. His numbers aren't too hot, and Drieger in the AHL doing all right. Leonard and Varlamov both here in Vancouver. Leonard wanted much more than that in free agency. That's crazy, 1.68. He's doing amazing, actually. So Leonard and then Varlamov in the AHL, not too hot, but Robin Leonard in Vancouver. And there you have it. There are all the trade blocks and potential trade targets for us headed into the second half of 2025-26. We turned things around a little bit, but we still have some questions to answer and some things to iron out. And I'm hopeful for the second half, just like we did last season. We turned things around, we finished in 3rd place, but we gotta do the right moves. Last season it was bringing in Blake Wheeler. This season, what is our move to make sure that we are going to finish strong? Is the answer already within our organization, within this lineup? Do we look somewhere else? Is it goaltending, defense, forward, scoring? What is it? We are scoring a lot more, but we're still getting scored on a bunch. So, I don't know. The rookies, are we too young? A lot of things to think about headed into the second half. So let me know. And Erik Karlsson down to an 82 overall. What a scam. Also headed into next episode, consider the possible extensions. Chaz Lucius right now would accept a 3x3 probably, but that would make him a UFA. 1 or 2 years, he'd be asking 5.25, and then 4 years or more, he's into the 6s and 7s. Mario Ferraro, who's been a great defenseman for us, he wants 2 times 3. Pretty, yeah, around that same thing no matter how many years you go. And then some other pieces we'd have to extend, but that's only with $3.693 million. We have to be shedding some salary headed into next season if we're going to be keeping both Lucius and Ferraro probably. But we can always qualify him and move some things around later, just to keep in mind in case we wanted to send out any extension offers before the 2026 offseason. So let me know your thoughts down here on YouTube or over on the Discord server, link in the description. Thank you everyone for taking the time to watch and enjoy. Once again, I hope that you're having a wonderful holiday season. Wishing you all the most health, happiness, and joy headed into 2023. Hard to think we're just a few months away from the 3-year anniversary of when I really came back to making videos in NHL 20. So thank you to everyone who's been here for the ride. And if you've been enjoying it and you're not already subscribed, please do so. It would mean a lot for the channel. We're trying to hit 5,500 before the end of the year. I think our goal for 2023 might be to hit 7,500. I haven't decided yet, but make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. And of course, leave a like if you enjoyed the first half of the season. Looking forward to reading your thoughts in the next one as we have a lot to think about. I'm excited for the second half of 2025-26, and I hope you are too. So thank you once again for taking the time. Enjoy your holiday season. I look forward to seeing you again next year in the next one.